Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. We are well equipped in our litigation and advocacy for the benefit of our clients, corporates, and individuals. Why not visit us at 5 Oakfield House, Oakfield Road, Ilford, London, IG1 1EF. We are just 15 minutes from Liverpool Street Station. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.
Hello. Welcome to Tice Madox Solicitors program. This program brings the very best for you. My name is Justice Maduforo. I'm a solicitor of the Supreme Court of England and Wales, or Senior Court of England and Wales. I'm also a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also the principal of Tice Madox Solicitors. This firm has been positioned and bettered to represent you in your best interest. Whatever we do in this firm is to ensure that you get the right representation that you need, more especially the right advice. So this program is not a legal advice program, not at all. And therefore, you must not act on whatever you hear me speak or my discussant on this program. Rather, the details are on the telephone or the details are on the screen for you to take our telephone and contact details to contact us, and then we can have a tailor-made representation and advice to you. At that point in time, you can act on whatever we advise you upon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have discussed immigration on this program. I've discussed employment matters. I've discussed criminal matters. I've discussed contract matters, family law matters. I've discussed litigation. This firm has a legal franchise in criminal law to represent you at the police station free of charge in the whole of England and Wales, free of charge from the police station and then to the Magistrates Court subject to your means testing, and then all the way to the Crown Court, to the Court of Appeal, to the Supreme Court, to the European Court of Justice, and you pay nothing once terms and conditions are met in respect to your funding. Ladies and gentlemen, we advise you the right way. You don't go to that police station without contacting Tice Madox Solicitors. You don't go to court without calling Tice Madox Solicitors. You don't go to your trial, you don't go there and say not guilty or guilty without contacting Tice Madox Solicitors. We are the right shop firm that you need to advise you properly. Remember, what you do today will be your effect of tomorrow. So therefore, get today right. Therefore, as I said, other programs, other informations are right there on the screen. You follow us on our Twitter page, Twitter handle at Tice_Madox, and also follow us on Instagram. Tice Madox Solicitors is our handle. And also you can go to Facebook, Tice Madox Solicitors as well. On Facebook, just type in Tice Madox Solicitors on Facebook. You can add us as friend. At the same time, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also Tice Madox Solicitors on YouTube, and watch some of our programs on YouTube and leave us your feedbacks, and then we can be happy to review that. This firm is the very best firm that you need. And therefore, this program signposts you to Tice Madox Solicitors, where you can get the right advice, you can get the right representation that you need. Because we all are embodiments of the law, and we must all abide by the law. Whatever the law provides, as long as you're in this country, you must abide by the law. It does not affect whether you need immigration matter, you may need contract. If it's not contract, you may be arrested for criminal matters. Remember, and I want to point that out clearly, it doesn't matter whether you're arrested or not. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't you ever be ashamed that you're arrested or you're invited to the police station. Don't do that. You're a human being. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So when you make a mistake and you're arrested, or a poor judgment at one point in time of your life, you make a poor judgment, and that judgment has resulted in arrest at the police station and charged to Magistrate Court, or you've been invited voluntarily to the police station, or you've been invited voluntarily by the Department of Works and Pension in relation to your benefits, in relation to whatever benefit you seek, and they feel that they need to speak to you regarding your benefit or some irregularities or some notifications or some changes in your circumstances, then you don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be ashamed. And I need to say that to people. Nobody's above making a mistake. So if you make a mistake and you're invited to the police station or you're charged, take that boldness and call Tice Madox Solicitors with a non-judgmental. We cannot judge you based on the offense you've been charged with. It's irrelevant. We are professional to guide you all throughout and represent you in your best interest. So where you have your confidentiality and your privileged information are kept secure, locked under the Data Act. And you are secure none of your information, none of your matter is ever, 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 and I repeat again, strictly ever, to be heard by any other person other than you. And therefore, you could be confident that we represent you well in all matters that you face, be it family matter, be it issues with family, be it whatever it is, feel free. You must be free with your solicitors. You must be free with Tice Madox Solicitors, and we're sure we have your back. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'll be discussing immigration, and my topic today is bail application. Today I'm discussing immigration, and my topic is bail application. The reason I want to discuss this matter and other matters I've discussed in immigration, mind you, not only bail this firm does asylum matters. Whatever asylum fear that you have returning to your country, whatever fear it is, come, let's process that fear, and we can now make use of it and project it better for you. Dust out the chaffs and present the substance for you, and then so that your asylum claim will just sail through. Ladies and gentlemen, whichever country that you are, don't be afraid. Whatever nature of your circumstance of which you're claiming asylum is, don't bother about that. Just come to us. What you need just to come as you are, and we will sort you out. Now, not only bail that we do, of course, all immigration applications, whatever it is in immigration. I've discussed that on this program. You can also have a feel of it or some segment of some of the topics when you go to our YouTube page, Tice Madox Solicitors, and you can also find some of them there. You just type in Tice Madox Solicitors or type in Justice Maduforo on YouTube. Obviously, you will see some of our programs in there. So you can at least have an idea, and then you'll be comfortable then when you come to us. What we want to build from you is trust. Once we capture your trust, every other thing will sail through successfully for you and in your best interest. Bail application is very crucial in immigration. Lately these days, there have been a lot of effort by the Home Office or by the UK Border Agency or by the enforcement unit of the UK Border Agency or the Home Office. There have been a lot of enforced work and more effort to detain most people who are overstayed in the country or illegal entrant in the country, or those whose leave have expired and are staying overstayers. The Home Office is driving now silently. Initially, they go to the pages of newspaper or on the media talk about it. Now, they have taken a new strategy, and that strategy is to be quiet and silently fish out those who are not supposed to be here, or those who have one problem or the other, and they are here. And along the line, they are unable to sort themselves out, or those whose application in the past has been refused and they have exhausted their immigration bail application, they exhausted their appeal right, or exhausted their bail rights. And as a result of that, the Home Office is now proceeding to remove them. Remember, the first thing first, you have no leave to remain or overstay. A second one is that you have exhausted all your appeal rights or application that you may want to make. And the third one, that you've not been detained. And the fourth one, that you'll be removed. This sequence, a sequence of which is undergoing right now. The reason I want to discuss bail application here is because of the enormous call this firm, Tice Madox Solicitors, have received from people who are in custody, those who have been in detention removal centers, and from those of them we have assisted to remove them from detention. So obviously the good news have spread. Kudos to some of you who have come to us and have felt what I'm talking about, because I talk with passion and talk with great expertise when I advise you. And once you follow and instruct us, you are sure to have success. I repeat again, you're sure to have success once you instruct us to represent you in all these matters we talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, so much calls have come in, and I have processed a lot. This firm has processed a lot of people who are in custody, not in custody, in detention, in the immigration removal centers. As a result of that, some of them are either about to go, some of them have spent so much years, a month, and weeks in detention, and they have not yet been removed to their country or respective countries. They have just been left to stay there. Some have spent 2 months, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. A pathetic one that came to us recently was 8 months. She's been in detention. I'm using custody. It's quite different from detention. Custody is when you've been either police custody or you're remanded in criminal prison. So those one are custody, different matters. To detention. Detention is strictly immigration matters. So those of you who have been detained under the immigration power and you've been detained, and this particular case I was talking about, she's been there for close to 8 months. Quite pathetic. A very emotional story. and she's gone round, basically. She's gone round and she's done her bail applications, and it's all been, she's all failed. And obviously because she's detained and she has no other person to fund her case, so she's left to just right there. And now the Home Office has been, according to them, finding ways to obtain her travel certificate or emergency travel certificate to remove her to her country of origin. So that has stalled, and she has stayed, and she's exhausted all bail applications. And those who represented her did not understand the technical nature of her case and then apply technicalities as well, and expert knowledge on how to get bail applications for their clients. So she was just there until somebody stumbled into this program. You see, that is why we're doing this program, ladies and gentlemen. It's for your own good, not for us. But we want to emancipate you. We want to show that you direct you to the right place, show you the light. When you see the light, you follow through. If you're in darkness and you see a ray of light through any of the holes, what do you do there? It attracts you. And from there, you see the light. What happens when you see the light? You are excited. You're happy. Your human nature comes back. You feel fulfilled. You feel that you can achieve. You feel that you have a life in you again. So Tice Madox Solicitors is the light in any tunnel, in legal tunnel that you find yourself. We are the light. So this matter came to us, and I looked through the papers, and it was really pathetic and emotional. I spoke to her over the telephone in the detention, and I found out that there has been a lot of catastrophic error on those who represented her, and she didn't want to go back to her country, unfortunately. And because of that, I went to visit her, and took more detailed instruction and documentations that she has. And then obviously this was made available because she has a family and friends who could support her application to get her out of detention. 8 months, as I said, she's been there. And I applied that application again. She succeeded. She's out today. She's out today. And that is a testimony to what we would do for you. If you have your family members, your friends, your colleagues, your husband, your wife who is in detention, and they're just there, remember that you don't have legal aid to pursue bail applications. So that means that those of your friends outside will have to sort you out. We have to assist you with paying the fee in order to assist you, go through the legal process and to release you from detention. So, ladies and gentlemen, bail application is controlled under the Immigration Bail Act 2016. Immigration Act 2016 is provided under 2016, which recently enacted 2016 Immigration Act. So bail provision was provided there in how you can achieve your right to come out from detention if you've been detained by the Home Office or under the immigration powers. So as a result of that, there are processes to take through there. First of all, when you're detained, within the few 28 days you've been there, the enforcement unit of the Home Office would normally send you a letter under Section 120 for you to show cause why you should be released. That particular decision is made by the Secretary of State, whether they should release you from the detention if you are just been picked up and then you've been detained. Then some of you mistake that seriously. That's very important because the whole bail applications have changed. It has all changed. There's a whole lot of introduction to the circumstances of which bail should be granted. And some of them, those who are not understanding the procedures and have now done the wrong applications, or when they do these applications, they're not doing it right. So bails are refused. When you follow under Section 120, and then most of them will put in requesting the Secretary of State, who, by the way, is detaining you to release you. Sometimes it's difficult to ask the person who is prosecuting you to be the arbiter, and also to arbitrate, and also to adjudicate on the matter that he has interest in. So sometimes you get the result, and the result is always a refusal, because when they have processed you to detain you, they are satisfied that you should be detained. And when you go back to them again and say, release me under Section 120 with this further statement, which you provide, that's where some of you get it wrong by providing that statement. Now, what this company does, this firm, Tice Madox Solicitors, we analyze your case to see whether or not Section 120 is an appropriate step to follow. If it's not an appropriate step to follow, appropriate option, we will move to bail application here in the immigration tribunals. And because immigration tribunals are mostly so to say, impartial, and they're quite different from the Home Office. So some of the decisions may not all go well with the Secretary of State. Sometimes it also blend with the Secretary of State. But the most important thing here, some of you run blindly to make bail applications and you fail. And when you run blindly to make the first bail application, and then you want to do the second one again, obviously outside 28 days of provision, and you find out also that you also fail, you're doing something wrong. Or your representative definitely doing something wrong. They're definitely doing something wrong. They're definitely doing something wrong. And I repeat it again, they're definitely doing something wrong. Tice Madox Solicitors have got the skills to ensure that once the bill is lodged, we are prepared and prepared the environment, prepared your circumstance in such a way that a straightforward bail application, irrespective of your circumstance, because sometimes some of you have a very horrible, precarious immigration history. Precarious in the same nature that some of you have been here for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 8 years, 5 years. You have not ever made any application to the Home Office. And that is excruciatingly very bad. Very, very bad. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, watching this program on Believe TV or any other platform or social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, on accounts, on any platform, Facebook or Twitter, and you know that someone is going through this. Someone has not made any bail application, has failed, or has made bail applications, has failed, or has not done any at all, or has not even made any application whatsoever to regularize his stay. And is to come to the attention of the Secretary of State. You must come to the attention of the Secretary of State, whether you like it or not. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this firm will guide you to ensure that you are not going to be unnecessarily detained when you make this application. Some of you are afraid that if I make this application, they know where I live, they know where I stay, and it become a problem. Do not be afraid of that. Tice Madox Solicitors have got your back. We know how to guide you. We know how to make sure that when you make applications that are favorable, applications that are reasonable, and you would not need to be afraid of anybody knocking on your door. You wouldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, it is worse. You make no bail application. You make no application. It is worse. And therefore, that leads me to the process where you've been detained and you be accustomed by the Secretary of State enforcement unit, or you be accustomed by the police one way or the other. That makes your case absolutely very wrong, worst. It makes it wrong, and it's the worst state you won't ever want to be, because at that point in time, you are helpless. Then you have to be thinking home. But you know what? Even if at that stage you have no application at all, pending application made, and then you've been detained by the Secretary of State and bail has been refused, or you have not made any bail at all, stop there. Do not make that bail. Do not tell somebody to make that bail. Tell them to be calm. I know it is not a satisfying thing to be in detention. Some of you are very vulnerable at that stage. Yes, some of you are very vulnerable at that stage. You're worked up, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. Any voice comes to your ear, people are telling you several things, but I can tell you, and you're just following the trend. If you can pause and think, and remember, Tice Madox Solicitors said they will sort you out, then it's better for you not to endanger your application for bail, and to pause and speak to your family member friends who can come to Tice Madox Solicitors, or you can call us from there, and you can instruct us, and you can be sure that we will sort you out. We can be sure that the correct application is made for you for bail, and that you are released, well, no matter the condition the Secretary of State or the tribunal may wish to impose on you. We will ensure that the conditions are not serious enough, are not a type of conditions that will basically ambush you, because some conditions can ambush even when you are free or released. So we will ensure that those conditions will be necessary, appropriate, and proportionate. If they are not, we will argue that and we vary that. Ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly is that you come out from that detention. It's not the nicest place to be. Trust me, and I've been there with people. I've gone to take instructions from people. I could see the state they live in. And obviously, it's a form of imprisonment because you've been detained. Your freedom has been cut short. You're just left within the wall where your time is regulated. Of course, it's not like your freedom. I know you came to this country to pursue a legitimate goal, to feed yourself. Some of you are economic migrants. Some of you you have no hope to return home. You have no hope. We understand that. And that's why we will assist you to regularize here. This country is not chasing you away. This country just wants you to regularize your stay with us. How bad is that? Because the notion out there is that the United Kingdom don't want us to live here. They don't want you to live here because you are not coming in contact with them. You're not regularizing your stay with them. You're not coming in to show them that I respect your laws, your regulations here, and I'm willing to abide by it. And please look at my position. You're not doing that. Even when you're doing that, you're doing it wrongly because those who are making that application are just not putting time and effort and expertise in making that application for you. That's why you should pause there. Bail application, specifically this bail discussion, funneled down exclusively is in bail application in the Immigration Tribunal, not the bail application to the Secretary of State under Section 120. That's a different bail application completely. It is not my exclusive discussion here. It's bail application under the Immigration Act, especially and exclusively applications that are made in the Immigration First Year Tribunal to release you on bail with conditions or without conditions. We have secured bail even without no conditions. We have secured several bails without no condition, even attached. The Secretary of State will rise through the bail summary pack, and they will all ask for so much, conditions that if you release this person, he will breach it. And once you breach your bail, it goes into your history. And if it goes into your history and you're customed the next day, that would go against you because the judges will have to look at the fact that you've given bail before, but you breached it. Because the conditions are so impracticable that you cannot even comply with them. And such set you up to fail, set you up to breach it. And in the end of the day, you come back to the Immigration Tribunal and that circumstance of your breach is put before the judge, and the judge, sometimes their hands will be tied because your circumstance was that bad and that you breached it and you haven't done anything else to change it. Don't walk away. Don't you walk away and say, oh, come on, give me bail, I don't care anymore. Don't do that if you give him bail. If you give him bail, follow the procedures. It is your own good. I repeat again, this country, you may differ from me, but I'm telling you as an expert in this field and also following all the procedures and the laws and statutes and all that in this country. This country is not really driving you away. This country simply wants you to regularize your stay. Yes, once you regularize your stay, you stay. But some of you, unfortunately, are going to the wrong people to regularize your stay, and it fails woefully. And once it fails, you are detained. And then removal, it becomes the next thing. I'll be talking about removal in subsequent discussion on this program, but I'm restricting my discussion today to bail application. Because obviously, once your bail application fails, you have a valid travel document, be it passport or travel document from your embassy, your country's embassy in the United Kingdom. Once that is obtained, of course, removal, it becomes imminent for you at that point in time. But even if this firm has successfully taken instruction from a client, even a client that is in the plane to be removed to their country of origin, the court made a quick, urgent injunction, and the person was brought down from the plane in Gatwick Airport, Heathrow Airport, Stansted Airport, City Airport, and all that, Manchester Airport, and they were all brought down right in the plane because the circumstance has not been explored by those who has been representing them before. But we dig deep. This firm digs deep. I, Justice Maduforo, a seasoned solicitor with the great eagle eye, I dig deep into your circumstance. Bring those things that you think that are not there. You see, things that be not, we bring it out. And then we use it, fine-tune it. Are you getting what I'm saying? Fine-tune it, rearrange it, project it, back it up with the law, back it up with case laws, project it. And the judge sit down, reads it, and he said, I feel you making sense. I grant, give bail, injunction granted. That is what it is. That is what a firm does. It's not cut and apply. We don't do cut and apply. We don't do just complete and send. We don't do that. We don't do that. And don't you go to a firm that does that for you because it's not in your interest. We take time. We give you a la carte treatment, a la carte representation, freshly baked for you, specifically tailored for you. And that's why our mission is poised to represent you in your best interest, tailor-made, hassle-free. As long as you instruct us, then you could be sure that this firm is representing your best interest. We successfully released them from the plane. Yes, we've done that legitimately within the ambit of the law, and highly recommendable as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to emphasize to you to understand. Not because I want to carry you back to Tice Madox. Far from that. Tice Madox Solicitors has been found competent to represent the clients. And we've been doing that without no fear or favor, but looking at the law, your interest, and marrying it together, your circumstance, it makes perfect sense. Law is about conviction. It's about convincing someone. Have you able to convince me? Is the judge convinced? Is the Home Office convinced? Is your story presented in such a manner that is plausible, in such a manner that is believable, in such a manner that it is arguable, in such a manner that it makes sense, in such a manner that it will be unreasonable to deny you, in such a manner that it will be disproportionate? If you haven't done so, then that means you're doing the wrong thing. Tice Madox Solicitors will package these things for you. So bail applications are crucial. If you have your family members, your wards, whoever is in custody, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors that you know that they've been in custody for all this while, especially in detention, I beg your pardon, detention. And they've been there, and you know that they need to be freed. They've been there 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days, even if they've been detained today. Rush to Tice Madox Solicitors, instructors, and I will tell you this, it's guaranteed that your word, once we have taken instruction, what I mean instruction is that you instructing us, that you asking us to proceed. Once we have taken instruction and endorsement, and you follow our advice, if you don't follow our advice, you don't expect the miracle. The miracle lies in following our advice. Once you follow our advice and you've instructed us, trust me, your word will be released from detention and you will be satisfied. And I can assure you that everything with your instruction will be done for your word, your friend, your colleague, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, your civil partner, your dependents, whatever, that they are released. And the application will sail through. And you will see in the next 5 years, you look back and say, Tice Madox Solicitors, thank you for this information. Information is key. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm discussing immigration bail application today. And the most important thing is to signpost you to Tice Madox Solicitors. The contact details on the telephone and on the screen. Contact us today and other areas of law that you will shortly hear after this program, and you'll be glad you did. I remain your favorite solicitor, Justice Maduforo, and the favorite firm, Tice Madox Solicitors. God bless you.
Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. We are well equipped in our litigation and advocacy for the benefit of our clients, corporates, and individuals. Why not visit us at 5 Oakfield House, Oakfield Road, Ilford, London, IG1 1EF. We are just 15 minutes from Liverpool Street Station. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.